welcome to episode 44 of Cougs on Cougs. This is the Kafusi Brothers week.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Shout out to Corbin. Can't wait to have him back on the basketball court. To be clear, it's not week 90. It's his basketball number.
Yeah, 44.
As always, we're going to start with our notable quotable, and it comes from the great Larry Bird. He said, "Don't let winning make you soft. Don't let losing make you quit. Don't let your teammates down in any situation." We're going to start with coaching from the couch. We did something special. Nate and I met up after the game and filmed from the Marriott Center, coaching from the couch. So here's that.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with Nate Slack for a very special coaching from the couch on location segment. Follow Nate on Twitter. It's at NateSlack5. So we're going to give you our super hot takes. We're going to start really quick with football. We're not going to dwell too much on football because we played an FCS team, and then we'll move on to basketball. So Nate, I'll let you start. One thing that went right in the football game.
I love seeing KJ Hall's performance. I thought it was awesome. I was kind of nervous when Algie Brown went down because we didn't have any other guys there, but I think Hall stepped in really nicely.
He did. He looked like a really good true halfback. He had some really nice catches as well as runs. For me, I'm just gonna go with the easy and obvious Tanner. He had, a couple mistakes. There's some rust on the wheels, but he looked really good. He was ready to lead. Those 2 long runs. Looks like he's learning a thing or two from Taysom, so that was fun to see him play.
11 for 13 passing.
Very good. What about what went wrong? Can you think of anything?
Turnovers.
I was going to say turnovers.
Turnovers.
We'll share that because not too much else went wrong. So 3 turnovers against an FCS team, that's pretty sloppy. To move on to basketball, we just beat Princeton 82-73 in this beautiful place. Good game.
Oh, we look awesome.
How fun was it to see that team? So let's start with what went wrong so we can end on the happy note of what went right. You made a really good point about the Lone Peak 3.
Yeah, so Lone Peak 3 scored 61 points to the 82.
And we found out that the next leading scorer after the Lone Peak 3 was Kyle Davis, and he had only 7 points. And he hardly played in the second half, so that's kind of discouraging. It's hard to say it's discouraging because it's so awesome to see the Lone Peak 3 play like that, but you gotta have other people that can score. My what went wrong and what went right might be almost the same. We were really good with free throws in the first half, but in the second half, we missed at least 6 coming down the stretch. It didn't end up mattering since we had a nice little lead going on, but missed free throws lose games.
That's gonna hurt us.
How about what went right?
Eric Nika. Everything went right. 18 or 19 rebounds.
Well, he had a double-double. It was like 26 points and 18 rebounds.
He had 7 rebounds in the first half, so almost a double-double in the first half.
For me, what went right, it's weird because LJ Rose's stat line isn't that impressive. I think he had like 3, 3, and 3. But him being on the court, he just was a really good floor general. He ran things really well, kept everything nice and calm, and he had some really, really good passes. I feel like he would have had more assists if people were making the baskets, but I really liked what I saw from LJ Rose. Nate, thanks.
Thank you to Coach Slack for doing that for us and filling in for me and doing that on location. That was pretty cool.
We wanted to do a quick little Know the Foe segment because we're playing some unfamiliar names this week.
Yeah.
The first of which being on Thursday, and we're playing Coppin State. Coppin State, anyone? They are the Eagles. We put it out there on Twitter and asked where it was, and someone responded and said Kentucky. Incorrect. Where is it?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland.
East Coast, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did I say it's our first ever meeting? Never played them before. Mm-hmm. So they are Division I. They are in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, MEAC.
So they were last in the NCAA tournament in 2008. So it's been a while for them.
8 years.
In that year they lost to Mount St. Mary's in a play-in game as a 16 seed. So
they had a tournament win in 97, though. They were the 3rd ever 15 seed to defeat a 2 seed. So that's kind of a fun fact.
South Carolina, right?
Yep, they beat South Carolina.
And then lost to Texas. So they are 0-2 on the season this year. They have lost to Hofstra, another one of those teams you'll
only
hear
by
about.
2 points.
Only
so
by 2,
played them
and
close.
Then they got killed by Valparaiso.
78-58, not pretty.
Mm-hmm. But they're playing a bunch of games, I think, when they're out here, and one of those is against Utah.
Yeah, they play Utah the day after they play Us. So that's our first opponent of the week, Coppin State, and our second one, I'll let you say this because their mascot is very difficult to pronounce.
Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. And that comes from Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, which, did you have to read that in school?
I didn't, actually, but a lot of people did.
Medieval English and French history class, and we read the Canterbury Tales.
I did see that the mascot was suggested by an English professor, so there you go. When I first Googled the Chanticleer mascot, it came up a musical ensemble. So there's apparently a musical ensemble named that, but their mascot isn't a musical ensemble. It's a fierce rooster who dominates the barnyard. That's how they describe it on Coastal Carolina's website.
From the Nun's Priest Tale in the Canterbury Tales.
So now that you know more than you wanted to about their mascot, they actually have a pretty good, like, Chaucer's words about the Chanticleer are really good. We'll put that up in the article. We recommend reading it. They are also 0-2, and they're located in Conway, South Carolina. Coastal Carolina and Coppin State do play each other in South Carolina on Wednesday, so that's a very quick turnaround for Coppin State. Not ideal. As for our football opponent, we figured we'd spend a few minutes on them, and instead of doing the research ourselves, we pulled it from the expert.
Thanks, Jake. Jake Welch wrote about this in his power rankings, which if you don't read it, you need to read.
You need to read it. He's at BYU All Blue and Vanquish the Foe. They're on Vanquish the Foe every week. They're fantastic.
And also shout out to Steve Pierce because he's now started his basketball power rankings, so we get both of them, which is delightful.
UMass is the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and they go by UMass. A couple things about them, and these are in Jake's words, not ours. Amherst, Massachusetts is in the middle of nowhere.
Once upon a time, there was a basketball player named Marcus Cambion. He played basketball at UMass.
He said there is a terrible, Jess will disagree, there's a terrible basketball movie called The Sixth Man where a college basketball player dies and his ghost is able to help his team, the Washington Huskies, win a bunch of games. They reach the championship game, and what team do the Huskies plus one ghost play against? UMass. Jess
Not
likes
likely
this movie.
that would ever happen, but no. Okay, so I talked to Jake about this on Twitter because that's a great movie when you're 10 and you love basketball.
But maybe only then, right?
Yeah, he said he watched it recently and it doesn't hold up very well, which is a shame. But I think I just want to keep that in my memory.
You hang on to that nostalgia.
There's some good moments.
This one is very, very compelling.
So UMass has a football team, right, like us, but they are also independent, which is a little bit different. So they have kind of crazy schedules sometimes too, but it works out nice for us where we can play them in November when we need games.
Yeah. So. Last thing, in the future, BYU will play against UMass at Foxborough Stadium, aka Tom Brady's Funhouse. So shout out to Jake. Again, check out those power rankings if you haven't. So there are our 3 lesser known opponents for the week. The more you know, right? Time to move in to talk of the town. We're going to start with basketball. Great win over Princeton.
After the game, Eric Mika in the press conference, they're asking him, it's been 2 years since you've played in front of this type of crowd at the Marriott Center. How was it? Did it feel the same, whatever? And he said, well, I wanted to throw up until about a minute before the game. So, yeah, I'd say it's about the same.
Speaking of Eric, he had 2 career highs last night. So he had a career high in points, 26, and in rebounds. And speaking to that point, Kyle Collinsworth tweeted and said that some NBA guys and agents are hitting him up about Eric. So that's good to hear. It also makes me a little sad because we don't want him to leave. But if he has that good of a season, then he's got to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, and this is one sample size against maybe not the best big man. So let's hold off on
the hype a little.
That Eric's going to go to the draft.
But it still is awesome that guys are asking about him. There's definitely interest.
And I'm sure he'll continue to just get better and better, and that could happen, so we'll see. Jill Lee tweeted out that her son, Colby, signed his official letter of intent for BYU basketball.
This is an Idahoan, right?
This is, from Rocky Mountain High School in Meridian, Idaho. I wrote an article about him for Vanquish the Foe early.
We'll link to it.
When he was being recruited and committed. So
he's a good talent.
Yeah, he's good. He's a mission first guy, so he'll go on a mission, and then he won't be back till like 2019. But.
So he did sign his letter of intent on National Letter of Intent Day, which was last week. We are still waiting on Christian Papula. So Christian Papula has until today to sign. Please sign your letter. Quit playing games with our hearts.
BYU.
Are you worried?
A little bit.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried the first few days, but I mean, it's time's up now. So.
Since he, verbally committed to BYU, had a lot of interest since then. So I guess we'll see. Yoli Childs tweeted out, "Happy birthday, Meg, to make me a better man every day." And we figure he's got a cute little girlfriend.
In other news, Jimmer is absolutely lighting it up in China. So much so
as we all expected.
That I saw his stat line the other day, and he had 38 points. And in my mind, I was like, oh, he only got 38? That's how much he's been lighting it up.
Yeah, only.
Like, only 38 points. What universe?
He's like averaging 40 plus or something.
So what? This was in a game last week where he got 51 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals.
We saw this tweet from Abigail Mangum this week that she announced that she's going to play basketball at BYU. So another Mangum will be at BYU.
Yep, we let you know that she was getting recruited, and now she has committed. So
we will take all of the Mangums.
All of them.
Give us all of them.
Also exciting to have in Utah, Devin Mahina signed with the Salt Lake Screamin' Eagles. So they're a professional indoor team. This is their first year, and he's literally one of the first 2 people to sign with him. And finally,
Tanner Mangum tweeted out, "Trying to channel my inner Taysom Hill."
Gotta give Taysom the shout out.
Hey, he had 42 rushing yards in that game?
Yeah. I will say it's so funny to me how people have come up with this perception in their head that Tanner can only pass and Taysom can only run when they can both do both.
Yeah,
Breaking
if you
news.
watched that game on Saturday.
Roles reversed.
Tanner was running and Taysom was throwing some beautiful passes.
It's true, but that's a fun picture, and it's fun that Tanner is playing along with this. So. Yeah. There's your talk of the town.
The game Monday night was part of the ESPN Tip-Off Marathon, which means that we were playing in pretty much prime time on ESPN. It was 8 o'clock Mountain, so maybe a little bit late for East Coast, but
everyone watches the Tip-Off Marathon.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big national stage.
It's 24 hours of basketball, so why not? So a lot of times when BYU plays on ESPN, we get a lot of comments on Twitter about...
I mean, everyone tweets about the game that they're watching. I know we tweet about other games that we watch, so they're doing it just like that, but BYU attracts a lot of funny comments.
Yeah, it's really fun to go through. So we kind of picked out some of the ones that we saw and wanted to share some of them with you, and we'll try to keep doing this as the season goes on. We'll just compile some and share them once in a while.
We're going to call it Tweets from Last Night.
Yeah. So
a lot of them we get from you guys retweeting really good stuff into our feed. So keep doing that. Feel free to tag us in any especially good ones that you see.
Yeah, definitely. I'll start this one. This is from Fran Fraschilla. And he tweeted out, "Princeton playing BYU, and I'm thinking of Coach Pete Carroll's line. Never recruit kid who lives in a house with 3-car garage." Which I think he was talking about Princeton in this case. Ivy League schools and all that. He probably doesn't know much about Alpine.
Probably not. I mean, part of me wonders if it was just racist and there were so many white kids on the court that he figured that most of the kids probably had 3-car garages.
Oh, maybe.
But pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
This one is from Chase Spencer. He said, "In for a long night at the Marriott Center, Princeton has more white guys than BYU." And you know what? That's true this year.
Dude, that doesn't happen very often.
Shout out to LJ, Yoli, and Elijah.
Okay.
And Jamal.
And Jamal, that's right. Don Pablo said, "BYU low-key the school to go to if you're a white boy that gets nothing but buckets." So true. Thank you, Nick Emery, TJ Haas.
Matt Carlino, Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah.
The list goes. Danny Ainge. Can we just keep going all night?
Oh, we could.
Okay, this is the beginning of our TJ Haas series.
Yeah, TJ got a lot of attention. He'll continue to because he's that good.
Yeah.
And he was going to surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, they don't talk about you if you're not good. Mm-hmm. So this one says, TJ Haas from BYU is the gym rattest of all gym rats.
Ryan Petrovic, TJ Haas, the classic, looks like he couldn't even lace up a pair of Nikes, but he's actually nasty and would drain threes on me for days.
That's a very accurate description of him.
Pretty much. Don't overlook TJ Haas, for sure.
Okay. This one is from Ryan, and he says, BYU's had some weird-looking dudes over the years, but this TJ Haas dude might take the cake. Extremely punchable face. That's rude.
It is rude, but...
That falls under the mean tweets category.
Ethan Joyce, TJ Haas is going to absolutely crush in a 40-and-over rec league someday.
AKA
which
Ward
is
Ball.
True.
He doesn't know that.
But at this point, he'll continue to absolutely crush in NCAA games.
So our last one is not just about TJ, but about everyone. It's from Junebug, and he says, BYU is playing with 28-year-olds. One dude looks like he runs a local law firm and plays racquetball on Fridays. Those are some of the good ones that we saw. We'll keep this going for the ones on the national stage. And we also wanted to remind you, if you see any mean tweets, send them our way because we will be doing a mean tweet segment soon.
Yes, we will. So for what's next, as we mentioned, we have 2 more basketball games this week and a football game. So Thursday night at 7 o'clock at the Marriott Center, we're playing Coppin State.
In Baltimore. Don't forget. The Eagles.
Yes, they're in Baltimore. The game's in the Marriott Center.
Yes.
And then Saturday at 7:30 playing Coastal Carolina. So again, those are part of the MGM main event tournament.
Yes. And that one's at 7:30 on BYU TV.
Right.
Also
and before we have our next show, there's another game on Monday night at 6:30 p.m. in Vegas, and that's against St. Louis.
So that one will be on ESPN3, which you can stream through the Watch ESPN app. As for football, we play UMASS, and that is at noon on Saturday at LaBelle Edwards Stadium, and that is going to be simultaneously broadcast on BYU TV and ESPN3. So if you can't make it, take your pick of where to watch it. There is the football and the basketball game that day. For the football game, you're supposed to wear navy. For the basketball game, you are supposed to wear white. So
I always wear white at the basketball game.
Go home in between games or bring 2 shirts. I know we'll be out there tailgating all day, so if you need something to do in between, stop by, hang out. As for our sponsors this week, our first one is Tanner Mangum's mustache. We'll put that up to show you guys. You gotta love No Shave November. We also wanted to give an honorable mention shout out to Corbin Kafusi, who's also rocking a stash.
And second sponsor, the BYU women's soccer team is playing in the NCAA tournament right now this week. They're playing against Oklahoma at 2 p.m. on Thursday in Columbia, South Carolina. So good luck to them. Hopefully they can win that one and make it a little bit further.
Yes, go Cougars. May you always stay loyal to the white and blue. For Jess, I'm Mary. We'll see you next week.